Chapter 10, Question 1. Okay, first question. What is a budget? Budget is a plan for the future that tells you what cash will be allocated where and where that cash will come from. They can be they can be used to plan future taxes by the government and future expenditures. So particularly like capital expenditures, which would be like a big purchase. What are planning and control within a budget? Planning is setting goals that you want to achieve in the future, and also within a budget, planning would also imply that you need to have funds to meet those goals. And control within a budget is attempting to make sure those goals happen and are met. And yeah. What are the advantages of budgeting, and what does a budget do for a business? The advantage of budgeting is that it sets a kind of a plan or a direction for your business, kind of concrete goals, sort of. A budget also keeps everyone on the same page for a business, so everyone knows where the company's going and the direction you want to take it in. Okay, what is a master budget? A master budget is essentially a compilation of all the smaller budgets. So it would combine capital budget and your sales budget and things like that all together, and then it shows the connections between them as well. So, fifth question, what is a sales budget, and why is it important to the entire budget process? A sales budget is the budget that is an estimate of what sales you will make for the coming year. And it's pretty critical because without it you can't do almost any of the other budgets. It's kind of an integral part of all the other budgets. So, it's very important. How is cost of goods sold and ending inventory calculated? So to get your cost of goods sold, you have to add your starting inventory and purchases. Then you have to subtract your ending inventory, and then that will give you your cost of goods sold. This formula you can manipulate it to give you your ending inventory. And you can also use it to meet a target for ending inventory. So you may want to increase your ending inventory because you think that you will have more purchases in the future. So you can set that and then manipulate the formula to calculate the rest of it. All right, seventh question. How are operating expenses calculated? Operating expenses are calculated by looking at the previous year's operating expenses and then creating a percentage of that by dividing it by your total sales. So your operating expenses, you want to get that percentage, and then look at your sales, your predicted total sales for the next year, and then multiply it by that percentage you got before, and that will give you your operating expenses for the next coming year. What does a capital budget contain, and what is it used for? Capital budget contains the coming year's cost for your capital expenses. So, if you need to buy a building, a budget for that would be like you need to save a certain amount each month so that you can eventually pay for that building or the equipment that you may need. It's really important because without it, you don't want to blindside yourself and have this huge cost out of nowhere. Alright, 10th question. How is the cash budget calculated? So to get the cash budget, you have to start with the ending balance from the previous year, and then you will have to figure out your total predicted sales and take a percentage of that to figure out what will actually be paid in cash and what will be accounts receivable. So that could be like 70% of your 70, 80, whatever it is, of your total predicted sales. And then you have to determine how many of your expenditures you are going to have to subtract from that. So, and also that will have to deal with what you pay in cash and then what you put off, so as like a debt or whatever. And then that value, after you add and subtract all those things, your cash balance from the previous year, and then your total predicted sales minus your expenditures, and then that will give you your predicted ending cash. And that is chapter 10.